Hey guys, how about them Cowboys? Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. So I want to talk about the beatdown that the Dallas Cowboys just put on the Jacksonville Jaguars, AT&T Stadium, Arlington, Texas. Cowboys win 40-7, which is unusual because you never see a score like that too often in the NFL, especially considering the team that the Cowboys brought into this game, going up against one of the elite defenses in the NFL. The Jaguars were allowing the fewest yards per game coming into today. They had obviously a setback in Kansas City last week, and we were able to take advantage of a lot of the things we saw on film that Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid presented as issues to this Kansas City defense. And you have to give Scott Linehan, Jason Garrett a lot of credit. They've been under fire this week after the overtime loss in Houston. Many of the decisions that were made regarding the 4th and 1 and the run game and the passing game and just how broken things have looked. They came in with an open mind this week, obviously, with their installations, and really took advantage of some of the aggressive tendencies of the Jacksonville defense. We saw a lot of quarterback run game today, and I was really happy. I mean, it was, I think it was Dez that tweeted it a few weeks ago. When you get Mississippi State Dak, that exact Mississippi State Dak in full effect in this offense, that's the type of offense he's going to need to run to be effective right now. Tony Romo astutely pointed that out during the broadcast. He's not going to be a guy that's just going to drop back from center and dice up a defense, especially with that in conjunction with the type of wide receivers we have. Do we have good enough wide receivers to make plays consistently and move the ball within the framework of an offense? I believe so, but you have to develop a scheme that's comfortable for them as well as the quarterback. Now, did the wide receivers have an outstanding day today? Cole Beasley did. Cole Beasley was outstanding. I believe he had 9 catches for 9 catches, 101 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He hadn't scored since last season, since the Kansas City game. So, unbelievable performance. Jacksonville, I'm not sure what they were doing in identifying and not doing the bracket thing. I don't know if it was a pride thing for them or if they just got stubborn or what. But they did a very poor job covering Cole Beasley. It was great to see him take advantage of his opportunities. Quite frankly, even with what I just said about them and kind of allowing him to run free over the middle, Cole's had opportunities. He's gotten open a lot this year, and he just hasn't connected with Dak and getting the football. A lot of that's on Dak, and a lot of that is on where, really Dak and where he's being asked to throw the football, whether it's Scott Linehan or Kellen Moore. So good to see them make a priority to get Cole Beasley the ball, priority to allow Dak Prescott to use his legs, get comfortable within the game. And the biggest thing is taking shots down the field. Did they connect with a whole bunch of shots down the field? Not necessarily, but it's the aggressive nature and showing, hey, we do have guys that can get behind the defense. Tavon Austin getting open deep. Michael Gallup getting open deep. Ezekiel Elliott running basically a flag route out of the backfield. Now, did we hit on the play? No, but we've put that on film. And that's something that, as Tony Romo pointed out again, we'll come back to, whether it's a couple weeks from now, later in the season, who knows? But teams are going to have to defend these things. That's how other people are deploying their running backs in the league. They were even more creative in their run game. I love the double pull counter that they were doing all day, getting Zeke more on the edge, allowing him to use his speed, and then later in the game, letting him gash downhill, letting him run out of inside zone in the shotgun, taking advantage, just creative ways to get him the football instead of just turning around, heading off, and still leveraging the fullback. We did trade for Jameis Olawale, but we hadn't been using him. So today was refreshing to see in short yardage situations, leveraging the fullback. You guys have to, when I say you guys, I'm talking about Scott Linehan, just throwing out different looks. Window dressing goes a long way in this league. When I say window dressing, what I mean, there's 15, 20 ways to make the same play look different. And sometimes you got to mask things. Sometimes we know you want to run inside zone, but you can't come out in the same formation every time and run it. Sometimes we know you want to run your zone read quarterback run game stuff with Dak and Zeke, but you're running it out of the same formation. You motion the guy to the same side every time. There's different things you can do. You can act like you're going to fake a bubble screen and then run your play. Still the same concept, still the same blocking up front, but your dressing on the play is different. So just they did a much better job of that today, and I think they got some of their creativity, as they point out, from watching that Kansas City tape and just taking a look in the mirror and just saying, look, we have to do a better job of calling the game to our personnel. And when you see Dak Prescott start to get confidence and he's asked and given the right to really just let the ball go down the field, he starts throwing with a lot more confidence. And when you're throwing the ball confidently, it's going to look better coming out. He was very accurate for the most part today, on time. And he turned into a playmaker with his legs. That's why I said Mississippi State Dak is what this Cowboys offense is going to need if they want to win the NFC East, because we are very much in the thick of things. We're tied now with the Eagles at 3-3. The Redskins sit at 3-2. We play them next week. They obviously had an early bye. They have not yet played a divisional game. A lot to play for, a lot ahead of us. But as I said last week's video after Houston, this team's very Jekyll and Hyde. They're playing very well at home. They're not playing well on the road. We go to FedEx Field next week. They got to turn that narrative around. They got to come out and play better offensively, because the defense has really been playing well all season. Another outstanding performance by Byron Jones, Leighton Vander Esch, Jalen Smith, the entire defensive line. Anthony Brown played well today. Jeff Heath got an interception. Xavier Woods was out there trying to kill people. It was an incredible performance. All three levels of this defense. Again, hats off to Rod Marinelli and Chris Richard and the game plan they've put together. Byron Jones, he's looking like the best corner at football, which says a lot, because we went up against a guy in Jalen Ramsey today, who obviously thought he had a pick on the corner route that could have turned the game around, but didn't get that foot down, similar to Michael Gallup earlier in the game. So across the board, very impressed. Just the story. I watched the CBS story of Jalen Smith this morning on NFL Today, and just the path he's taken. He's an incredible person. Just football aside, he's somebody, no matter what team he ever will play for, hopefully it's the Cowboys all the way through, I'll forever root for him. And it's a testament to hard work and perseverance in one's life. Leighton Vander Esch, again, was controversial. I told you I liked him. Obviously, the Cowboys liked him after he was drafted. He continues to play well. Now you're starting to see him make a couple plays even in the pass game. I know he got beat across the face by Dede Westbrook. There's not much he could have done running laterally or diagonally across the field 40 yards. But overall, just in the run game, I think he had like 11 tackles. Randy Gregory got a sack. My boy Woods got a sack. Got a Malik Collins sighting. David Irving flashed early in the game. As he gets his conditioning and his wind up, he's going to be more of a presence. I look out, him and Collins, Crawford, all my interior guys, Woods, it's going to be big for them going against Alex Smith, because Alex Smith he's not very good when with pressure up the middle. Most quarterbacks aren't, but Alex Smith in particular, you can turn him over if we go up the middle. I'm actually going to get, we're going to start doing more comprehensive breakdowns on the Cowboys as well on this channel. As you guys have followed me, we've been doing Longhorn videos with my boy John Tran. I actually have another friend who's a lifelong Cowboys fan who we're going to connect with and start doing some weekly, more in-depth breakdowns on the Cowboys, and as well as scouting our upcoming opponent. I hope to have a video out middle of this week with the Redskins. Obviously, me being from DC, this game holds a special place in my heart. Many of my friends are Redskins fans, so with the big rivalry game coming up and kind of a homecoming for me of sorts, something I want to talk about. Overall, though, this was a shocker. I knew we could win at home, and I just because I agreed. I like to Jason Garrett's point. I liked our matchup this week against them versus what Houston presented defensively. You know, I knew Jalen Ramsey was going to get a little bored because he's not going to really have anybody to guard because we don't really have a number one wide receiver, and we really punched them in the mouth and got innovative with the quarterback run stuff and just our creativity, and they didn't account for a lot of that. And to be fair to Jacksonville, not much of that stuff we've put on tape. So the other thing I want to point out, I appreciate the Cowboys for sticking with things that were working. One of my frustrations with this team is offensively they're not in the toilet inept. Is the passing game broken? I think so still, even with today's performance, because you have to put out a consistent product every week. And teams are throwing for 300 yards with relative ease and getting the ball to their playmakers. To me, that's still a struggle for us, even with this awesome performance against an elite secondary. But one of the issues we've had is when we do have things working, whether it's tight end screen last week that we hit to Jeff Swaim, a couple other plays, even the little over route we do out of trips to the boundary side of the field. We'll do something like that, and then we'll go away from it ourselves, thinking that the defense is going to adjust. And I'm come from the old school of thought. You do something until somebody stops it. You gotta, whether it's Madden or high school football, whatever. You do something until somebody proves so you can stop it. And what the elite play callers do, the Sean McVays, the Kyle Shanahan, the Andy Reid's, they build off plays. So yes, I'm going to keep showing you this one play, but we're going to have a wheel route built in behind that, or we're going to have a play action built in behind our double counter play, or whatever we're doing that's messing up your defense. So I like the fact that the Cowboys actually stuck more to that philosophy today. Again, kudos to Scott Linehan, for just being mindful of that. Just because Cole Beasley got open on a couple shallow crosses doesn't mean you stop running those routes. They bang that until they cover it, and then all of a sudden, boom, we think the DB thinks shallow cross coming, boom, we run pivot route or out route. Just lining him up on the outside, motioning him back in, motioning him to the backfield. Every play the defense should be asking, where's number 11? And it's only going to help Ezekiel Elliott out more because he's going to be the person that's going to tilt the route to carry you home regardless. So overall, that has to be the overall, the general philosophy with us offensively, whether we're ahead or we're behind in a football game. Being mindful of your bread and butter plays, sticking to that will establish more confidence at the quarterback position, and we can be confident there throughout the season before, we have to make obviously serious evaluations at the conclusion of this year. But guys, I'm excited about this defense. I think DeMarcus Lawrence calls them the Hot Boys. They were in full effect today. Blake Bortles never had a chance. TJ Yeldon, all those guys, they never had a shot today. So outstanding effort. Also, we really won all three levels. Special teams, Brent Maher, I tip my cap to you, sir. Every kick he kicked it, I didn't even, flinch, no worries. Everything right down the middle. Kick return game was good. All three levels, this was one of the most impressive Dallas Cowboys victories in the Jason Garrett era, all things considered, especially with all the noise and the distractions this week and the level of opponent you just defeated. That's the same Jacksonville team that took it to the New England Patriots earlier this season, who are obviously coming off a Super Bowl appearance. Speaking of the Patriots, I'm actually getting really excited to check out this Chiefs-Patriots game. Patrick Mahomes is obviously taking the league by storm and going against Tom Brady. I believe they showed a stat Bill Belichick hasn't allowed a quarterback under 25 years old to win in Gillette Field, which is ridiculous. So really excited. It's probably the biggest Sunday night game we've had thus far. But getting able to watch another game and kind of do some homework on these other teams with the peace of mind that your team took care of business today, there's no better feeling on a Sunday evening. So I appreciate you guys. Y'all let me know in the comments just some talking points, anything in particular, any players we want to call out for our our weekday breakdown. We'll go full Jacksonville stuff, and then we'll go right into Redskins prep before Sunday showdown. So appreciate everybody. I think we're almost at 2,000 subscribers. Those of you who have joined this channel at the beginning for my Longhorns videos, my Cowboys videos, our boxing videos, or just my general take on sports, thank you. I'm so appreciative for just being able to share my thoughts with everyone in my voice, and we're going to keep on keeping on. So appreciate y'all, and how about them boys? Thank y'all.